I never thought a patch of wild grass could spark a war that'd upend my life. But there I was, Noah Weller, rolling up to my Texas ranch in my beat-up '94 Ford pickup, coffee steaming, country tunes humming, craving a quiet weekend fixing the barn. The crisp January air bit at my knuckles as I turned off the main road. Then I saw her, Meredith Caldwell, perched at my gate like a suburban vulture. Designer leggings, pristine sneakers, blonde hair, shellacked to perfection, and, get this, a ruler. She was measuring my grass. I rolled down the window, voice steady. "Morning, Meredith." She spun, eyes blazing. "Your grass is 3.5 inches, Noah. HOA says 2 inches max." I sipped my coffee slow. "My ranch ain't under your HOA. Been here 40 years before your subdivision sprouted." Her face matched her cherry red nails. "Your eyesore tanks our property values. Rusted gate, leaking truck, crumbling barn. A disgrace." Then, in a move that'd make a reality show blush, she whipped out her phone, went live on Facebook, and called me a vagrant menace. Before I could blink, she was on with 911, painting me as a backwoods fugitive in dirty clothes with an abandoned truck. 10 minutes later, Sheriff's Deputy Ryan, buddy of mine, pulled up, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Ma'am, what's the issue?" he asked, stifling a grin. Meredith unleashed a tirade about community standards. I handed Ryan my ID. He glanced at it, smirked. "Judge Noah Weller, you're good, sir." Meredith's jaw hit the gravel, but she kept filming, muttering nonsense. Ryan waved me through. I thought that was the end. Wrong. By noon, my inbox pinged with an urgent community alert from the HOA. Screenshots from her video, my license plate circled, captions screaming, "aggressive individual" and "public disturbance." A kid delivered a $300 violation notice for lawn negligence. I stood at my gate, staring at Meredith's perfect lawn across the way, her HOA flag flapping like a taunt. I grabbed a legal pad, scrawled Caldwell versus Weller, evidence log, and called my assistant. "Brady, cancel my Monday. We're going to war." The next week, Meredith called an emergency HOA meeting to annex my ranch, claiming it visually impacted their aesthetic. I sat in the back, quiet, recording every word. Her PowerPoint flashed photos of my gate, my truck, even me in my own driveway, labeled a threat to cohesion. My neighbor Rosa piped up. "His ranch isn't even in the HOA." Meredith's syrupy smile didn't falter. "Technically, yes, but it affects our home values." That night, a note slid under my door. HOA letterhead, unsigned. "Fix the gate, mow the grass, or face consequences. Strike 3. I got to work. Rosa spilled how Meredith fined her $200 for overly vibrant roses. Ken, a veteran, got hit for a too-tall flagpole. Then I caught landscapers mowing down my wife's wildflower meadow, my late wife's pride, on Meredith's orders. 2 days later, a $500 HOA bill arrived. Brady, my relentless assistant, dug into their records and struck gold. $50,000 in HOA payments to a landscaping company owned by Meredith's cousin, authorized by Edith Langston, who'd been dead since 2020. Her signature, though, kept magically appearing. I didn't rush to court. I wanted to expose Meredith to the people she bullied. At the next HOA meeting, I stood before she could speak, holding a folder. "Let's talk about $50,000 in HOA funds signed off by a dead treasurer." The room froze. Meredith went ghost white. "That's sabotage," she snapped. "Nope," I said, calm as a summer breeze. "It's called forgery. Copies for anyone who wants them." Whispers erupted. Meredith's board turned on her. Jennifer, the quiet one, demanded the originals. Rosa stood, voice booming. "She fined me for roses." The floodgates opened. Neighbors spilled stories of harassment, fines for lawn chairs, paint colors, garden gnomes. Meredith, red-faced and shaking, yelled, "I didn't need the board. I handled everything myself." The room gasped. Someone muttered, "Did she just confess to fraud?" She stormed out, but the avalanche was rolling. Brady uncovered fake invoices, fabricated emails, even a deepfake video claiming I took bribes, debunked by courtroom footage proving I was in federal court that day. We handed it all to the authorities. A month later, Meredith was arrested. The trial was a bloodbath. Witnesses, including Rosa, with a recording of Meredith threatening to report her to child services over a trampoline, buried her. Meredith's excuse for the forged signatures? It was easier than explaining Edith's death. 8 years in federal prison for fraud, embezzlement, forgery, and evidence tampering. The HOA dissolved the week after the verdict. I stood at my gate, paintbrush in hand, touching up the rust. Not because anyone told me to, but because it felt like mine again. My truck still sits proud, the grass still wild, the meadow growing back. It was never about grass. It was about control. A bully who thought she could rewrite rules, terrorize neighbors, and silence anyone who didn't fit her manicured fantasy. She picked the wrong fight. So, what's your story? Ever faced an HOA tyrant or a neighbor who crossed the line? Drop it in the comments. Let's talk justice, the real kind. And if you're ready for more battles like this, hit subscribe. Let's keep fighting the right way.